Okay, guys, welcome to LJG Sports. This is my official Houston Texans NFL mock draft for 2025. I'm doing this mock draft the day prior to the actual draft. If you want me to do a live stream, I haven't done one of those. I'm pretty new to this YouTube thing, but if you would like to see my reaction to the Texans' first pick in round one tomorrow, let me know down in the comments and I will definitely do it. I am working till 7:15, I believe, tomorrow, so I should be back in time to do a live for the Texans' 25th pick. Again, just let me know down below if you'd like me to do that. Now, getting to this is, I believe, my second mock draft on the channel. I've been doing them all year, though. So this is my final mock draft. This is a combination of what I think the Texans will go for and who I want to see them get, and who I think will be available in these spots. So let's just get straight into it. First pick the Texans have at 25, obviously. I'm not going to do any trades. I do feel like Texans will probably make a couple of trades. Maybe not necessarily in round one, but I feel like Nick Caserio and company, they seem to always make a trade or two on draft day. I do think we'll see more of that from the Texans, but I'm not going to do that just for the sake of simplicity. And it's really hard to predict, obviously, what moves and trades Nick Caserio and the Texans will make. So at pick 25, I think Texans, unless someone, a really good, gifted wide receiver falls to their lap at 25, someone like Emeka Egbuka, I think it's possible they trade up for him. But, and again, we're not doing that in the scenario. And I don't think he will be available if the Texans stay put at 25. So for me, it feels like the Texans are really down to 3 or 4 guys, in my opinion, at the 25th spot. For me, anyway, it would be Tyler Booker, Gray Zabel, Josh Connerly, and Kelvin Banks Jr., from Texas. And there may be someone like Donovan Jackson that could go here too, but from past history from the Texans and Nick Caserio, it seems like they like the SEC guys, especially guys from Alabama. I think they're going to draft Tyler Booker at 25. I think he will be available. I know I've seen some mock drafts where he's not available for the Texans at that pick, but I think he'll be available personally. Guys like Gray Zabel, his stock has been rising, so I think the Texans will go for him at 25. I think he'll be available. I think they'll take him. Pick 56, 54 is the Texans' next pick. 58, excuse me. Sorry, misread it. 58 is an interesting pick because you would think they would go a wide receiver here. They very well might. I definitely could see them going for wide receiver. I personally think, and this is more probably swayed toward, I think they should draft another offensive lineman in this area. Some guys like Marcus Imbo from Purdue, I'm not sure if I'm saying that last name correctly, or a guy like Tate Ratledge from Georgia. And that's the guy I think they will ultimately take at pick 58. So this leaves them with the next pick at pick 79. Again, we're not doing any trades. At this point, I think they're going to really look for a wide receiver. They have a pick also at 89, so they don't need to force it here. But you would definitely look to get a wide receiver. Some guy that I really like, Tez Johnson, at this pick, but he's just, in my opinion, too much like Tank Dell. I think once Tank Dell is healthy, they'll like him. Obviously, they have him a part of their future plans. It wouldn't surprise me if the Texans, it would surprise me if the Texans took Tez Johnson at this pick. I would really like it. Some guy like Xavier Restrepo from Miami is another guy that, again, is very similar to Tank Dell, a slot, small guy. But I think in this scenario, someone who will be available there is Kyle Williams from Washington State. A very veteran player, played 3 seasons at UNLV, I believe, before playing for Washington State for 1 year. Or maybe even 2, I'm not sure. But I think they'll take a wide receiver with that third pick, especially if they go offensive line in the first 2 picks. Again, I think they will go offensive line again with the 89th pick. I think 3 of the 4 picks will be offensive line, unless someone really valuable falls down. Again, like in the first round, Emeka Ibuka, I could definitely see them taking him. So at this pick, I think someone that should be there, Cameron Williams from Texas. Some guys have him going higher. I think he'll be there available in this range, possibly a little earlier, but I think Texans pick him up. So that leaves the Texans with no round 4 picks, I believe. I don't believe we have any picks in round 4. That leaves the next pick, pick 166 in round 5. So at this point, the only other need I could see the Texans really looking to get is maybe interior defensive line, but I feel like we have enough guys who are versatile and kind of hybrids on that defensive line to where they can fill that void. And so this is mainly a pick of just best player available and someone that I hope is available. Again, it's hard to tell who's available at this point in the draft, is Devin Neal from Kansas. He's a running back. Give some competition with him and Dameon Pierce. And if in training camp he's proving to be the better number 2, then you can trade Dameon Pierce to another team to get something out of him and just to give him some playing time. I feel like he deserves playing time, but it just might not work in Houston, sadly. So after this, we have 2 picks in round 7, I believe, which will be 241 and 236. So really close to each other. At this point, you want to take defensive tackle. Someone I think and I hope will be there is another SEC guy, another Texas guy, Vernon Broughton, 6'5", 311 pounds, just a really big guy, can make a big impact in the backfield, and I just think he's a good guy to pick up at 236. And lastly, with the last pick for the Texans at 241, is just, again, getting the best player you can get. I could see them double dipping on any of the positions they've already drafted at, not running back probably. I could see them taking possibly a secondary guy just to have some depth back there, maybe some insurance later down the line, but I think they'll double dip on a wide receiver in this scenario. And there'd be a couple guys that I hope would be available, but I have the Texans taking Caden Prather from Maryland. 6'3", 210, has size and agility. Some guy I really like. I hope he's there in round 7 for the Texans, and we'll see what the Texans do. So if you liked this mock draft, again, it was more of a mix of who I think Texans should get, guys I like, and a mix of who I think they will get. I do think they'll get a bunch of offensive linemen in this draft, at least 3 in my opinion, and I hope it's 3 of the first 4 picks for the Texans. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, let me know where you disagree, agree. Who do you think Texans should pick at 25? Let me know down below.